You know, that happens when you get older. Well, you know, you always forget your hard drive. Starting. Because it's not the first thing that pops up in my mind. Please tell, yeah, right. No, stupid. All right, guys, here we go. This is from Double A. Here we go. Rink, dink, 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 dink.
The hatch is coming open. Okay. It's open. Verified. I'm moving outside. Okay, I'm letting go. Copy that. I'm starting to drift away. It really is dark out here.
It's going to be a nice little Minecraft piece.
How am I doing? You're doing fine. I'm beginning to see a point of light on the horizon. It's getting larger. I'm getting some pretty good oscillations. Oh, it's coming quicker now. It's really growing. Any second now. Here we go.
What's up, Shadow? Wasn't expecting this rhythm, but I love it. Bass line in there gives it a different little bop. This is really grooving me right now. I love this. I love this each little subtle layer that keeps bouncing in. It's fantastic. I love that bass line. Dark turn there. Oh, very nice on the chord changes. Like I've said many times before, pulling apart the layers and then reintroducing them. soothing music. Now, if I was to add a layer, I like that. It is. That's a very good point, Double A. This has kind of got a soothing groove to it, you know? You know, and that drum is a little frantic, but it's just kind of a little heavy loaded on the ghost notes. That kind of vibe. Oh, is this a fade? Let's enjoy the fade, people. We all fading, people. It's time to say good night. Whoops. This was such a super chill, trancey hypnotic track. But it had so many nice little layers that it kind of like lent itself to a little ambient, ethereal kind of vibe. I think it's because outside of the drums and the bass, a lot of what was being played with the arpeggiations or anything that was back there were being held down. They were sustained. Notes that would ring out and stuff like that. It wasn't really glitchy sounding. And also, you know what's really super cool about tracks like this was that even if you're not a musician, and let's just say you've never sung a song in your life or anything like that, something like this can affect you in a way where you're actually starting to sing your own little melody in your head. You know what I mean? You come up with your own little something. Even if you're not a musician, if you don't think you could sing, all of a sudden this lets you just soak in such a groove in such a way that all of a sudden you're going, da 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 da, or something like that, and it kind of gets you in the groove, man. And so I would have never heard of this without you, Double A, and I'm glad I did because I'm actually going to put this on my playlist. And by the way, this is the link of the track. And if Turnip is here and he already did it, my bad. But here's the link to the track we just heard in the chat. All right. Next up, DJ Tambor. Always in for a good piece of music here. DJ Tambor is doing some rock, bringing some rock to us here. This one is called... this is a game, but the genre is rock. But I've never heard of this game, or maybe I have, or maybe I should just shut up and say it so you guys can go, yeah, you did. Falcon and JDK Band. I don't know if that means something else, but I guess the game is called Falcon. So who subbed? Mahalo for the sub. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. So let's go ahead and listen what DJ Tambor is bringing into the house here. And let me grab this. This is called The Inevitable Struggle from the game called Falcon. This comes to us courtesy of DJ Tambor. So DJ Brada, this is for you. All right. Ooh, that bass. You know, the duel between the chugginess and the bass line is insane. Listen to that. Great compliment between the single note lead with the guitar and the violin. This live mix is great. You know, two guitar players there, and they're playing in unison, and they are super, super tight. Let's give the bass player that light, man, that spotlight. Let's listen to this. True that, Stu-Joe. I love the audience participation, by the way. I love the pseudo organ grind behind it all. All the chords are being leveled. It's kind of stacked with something else. Wow, this guy's killing it. I'm sorry, guys, that bass player, though. DJ, bringing it hot into the house. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Boto. Thank you. What a great sound. Two things I want to bring up really quick. The engineering on this was great. Now, usually if we hear something like this, it's recorded, but it's very big percentage of the time the tracks are taken into a studio and, you know, remixed. A good percentage of the time, doesn't mean all the time. The mix on this was outstanding. The tones were outstanding. The guitars, what was really great about the mix on this, had the guitars been nudged slightly a little hotter, it would have changed the whole context of the and the dynamics of the track. You know, the bass player, I was goobering over from square one, but that bass player was smoking with a great tone out there, and he was constant. He was actually just, if not busier than the drummer. And you say, well, how can that be? The drummer's moving more limbs than the bass player. Doesn't matter. Right? But the bass is, you know, that dynamic's insane. Okay, let's talk about the violin really quick. The violin has this kind of, I don't know, I've never looked at the violin as a lead instrument in a metal situation or in a metal band or something of this nature, but when it's performed the way it's performed on this, when it's well written like this, and it's also a lot of, like, there was a couple of times where it was in great unison with the lead guitar player and the violinist playing the same melody. It just a whole different level. String instruments like cellos and violins and bassoon, for that matter, doesn't matter. You know, getting into metal bands and stuff. Of course, there's going to be a little visual stigma on it. You know, you don't belong here. You should be sitting down in a chair. Or you should be in the first seat violinist or something. But I don't subscribe to that thought process. You know, whatever you put on stage, you make it work, and it has authenticity. I think also because the violin is also kind of considered, because of its size, you know, and how it's played and how it's regarded in the world of music as something of beauty. And, you know, of course, if you listen to some of the violin concertos, you'd sit there and go, pfft. And Yngwie thinks he's got chops. Man, I've seen some violinists do some things that are insane. And not to push the pop culture element of playing an instrument on a Renaissance period instrument, but by virtue of listening to some, you know, incredible symphonies that feature violinists. It's insane. So yeah, a lot of that. Next up, the Timo. This is a movie, Turbo Kid. Let's see what we got here. I've never heard of the Turbo Kid. Or is it the artist? No, Turbo Kid is the artist, I think. It's from a movie. And this is called Eyes, Throat, Genital. That maybe sounds like a martial arts move. Oh, eyes, throat, genitals. Kind of thing. I could be wrong. And I'm sure I am. But the Timo, brother, this is for you. Let's go. All right. Turbo Kid is the movie. Okay, thank you. Hear that snare layered with a clap and that little again, we're in that era of the breathiness of a track, you know, that pulsating dynamic. I like this pullback here with the sequence. The musical choices, the sounds kind of seems to me to fit what I'm looking at thumbnail-wise. Very synthy, very sterile, very edgy, robotic-y. Next will play with the delay there. Answer back. God, those old Syn toms. Pretty dramatic synthy work here. Hit you. Sinister programming music, I would say. It keeps you giving that sensation of plowing into the unknown in a universal space, spherical kind of vibe, you know? This is a specific genre, Turnip? Pender 18, welcome back. What's up? What's the name of the genre? I may have missed it in the stream. Lets you off the hook well. Synthwave? So Synthwave is the name of the genre. You know what I'd love to do, and now that I have all this free time, this might be the kind of music, if Synthwave is, if this is a genre, is what it is, and it has to do with the buildup on repetition, which to me, as I've said many times before, I have no problem. If I can lay back for 6, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, maybe after 8 minutes I might get a little bored, to listen to repetitiveness, as long as it had some levels of dynamics in the build up and the build down, or they're being creative with the engineering, they pull out, you know, sections and reintroduce sections, you know, to make it interesting. But this particular style to me is really super interesting because I've always had an affinity for the synthy sounds, especially some of the older modeled analog synth sounds. This style is one of those styles where I could put up a session in front of you guys and write one of these live. Like if I was to say, okay, guys, this is exactly how I would approach Synthwave in a library composition setting, and actually layer one after another and do it on the fly. you know, right here in front of you guys, and then, you know, layer them up, and then do all the mixing tricks. This is that kind of track that would be really fun for me to do, because I have such a shit ton of sounds and stuff that I have from all my modules. I think it would be really, really super cool, you know. But I liked it. This was the first track we listened to was very laid back and repetitive, and I fully dug it. And like I said, there's a hypnotic vibe to this kind of stuff too. In my experience, in the way I like to write for myself, if I write something hypnotic like this, it's just got layers and like this and goes, it leaves room for me to still be creative. I'm not trying to figure out a lot of stuff. And even for those who are non-musicians, a lot of people here are putting down the fact that this is coding music. You know, I guess if you're writing codes or whatever, PHP or whatever it is, kind of codes you guys are writing, Java. And it is that. It's that kind of, you know, and I can also see this kind of music being used in a coding scene. Let's say a bunch of guys are coding in the background and stuff like that. So, yeah, like that. Who just came in and just resubscribed? I can't see the color. Oh, thanks for the resubscribe. So, anyhow, yeah. Jabba the Hutt. Okay, let's do this. Who's up next? The Kebab Seller is up now from okay, this next one here is an anime. It's called One Piece. This is from the Kebab Seller. He comes in. I love this stream. There's people on every continent in our stream usually. And the Kebab Seller, way out there in the Middle East. This is an anime track, One Piece, and the name of the song is, stand by. This one is called Luffy versus Rob Lucci. Luffy versus Rob Lucci from the anime One Piece. So this is from the Kebab Seller. Kebab Seller, thank you so much for always coming in and hanging out. You're not only one of the usual suspects, but you also deliver some pretty cool tracks to us to enjoy. So let's do this. All right. This definitely has the march of the, you know, whatever the characters are coming in to come in. Very nice answer backs. The swimming harp. That lower horn section is like, you know, here comes the beefcake kind of vibe. The bad guys coming. Oh, I think there's more to it. Oh my God, that sample of the percussion is so old, but I love it. I think it's an old Spectrasonics loop. You hear that menacing? That's like a menacing, like bee in your headphone kind of vibe. You hear that? What the violas are doing? The floatiness of that flute section there is so nice. I love this hybrid. Live orchestral works with, you know, lo-fi loops and stuff. This is a callback to some 70s style composition. That lo-fi percussive loop it kind of keeps it in this cut time kind of vibe. It's almost like grounding the chaoticness. Is that a word? Part 3 coming up now. Very much a scene composition, this one here. Yeah, you're right. It does have some Godzilla-ish vibes, like I was saying earlier, like pulling from the 70s. I love doing that with sections. This has a little King Kong movie vibe to it, you know? There's a little bit of that style of composition in there. Very dramatic. This last one is very dramatic. Oh no, he's climbing to the top. He's gonna fall. Oh no! Stop, you fucker. That was hilarious. I loved how this piece grew in its uniqueness. And in that middle section where it had that Spectrasonics loop, I thought was very unique too. But it was all led with organic orchestral works. But it definitely had a bit of a timestamp. Excuse me, Shadow. he knows what I said. An organic timestamp of like the 70s style, maybe even 60s. Amon had mentioned something that it had this kind of Godzilla kind of vibe to it. I knew you would, Shadow. I knew you'd be the only one to pull that. But I really enjoyed it. But I enjoyed the clarity of a lot of the decisions that were these answer back arrangements. Like I said, I love doing that with the horns, is when you might have, let's say, trumpet, trombone, or trumpet, French horn, trombone, and even tuba, and a line would go, let's say the line was ba 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 ba. Now, a whole section could theoretically play that, but the trumpet went ba, trombone went ba, or French horn, trombone, ba, and then tuba, ba. And when you hear it kind of all panned out a little bit, that just adds a different kind of dynamics. You know, for me, that's those kind of dynamics are, you know, I'm fond of just having fun with sections in that capacity. But this was a great listen. I loved it. Chaotic Old Boar, are you in the house, my brother? This next one is for you. This is a band. The band is called The Saints. The song is Indie. And stand by. And the name is Know Your Product. That's a trippy name for a track. But Chaotic Old Boy, if you're in the house, this is for you. All right, let's do this. Boom, 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 boom.
Try it, you feel alright. Got some green new brand of smokes, chill your head and clear your throat. Keeps you young and so in touch. Cheap advertising, you're lying. But never
God, I love the guitar tone on this.
I say smooth talking, brainwashing. They're never gonna give me what I need. You clean, saves your soul and keeps you clean. It's recommended. You spy a queen. Gotta improve your IQ, helping everything you do.
What I want to say really quick is I love the tone of his voice. He's not necessarily holding any kind of a melody with it, but there's actually little hints of him staying in a pocket. Definitely hitting just, leveraging a little bit of one of the notes that are within the key structure that they're playing in. The other thing I love about what I'm hearing, other than the guitar tones that I said earlier, is I love how they leaned in on the mix with the horns. When the horns came in at the beginning, when they come in, they actually are just a couple dBs hotter than the guitar. And the sizzle of the lower end of the horns just really matches the distortion fantastic.
Do it's economic, don't cost too much. They're advertising, you're lying. They're never gonna give me what I want. I said smooth talking, brainwashing. They're never gonna give me what I need. I said take it, come on.
Hear how that's a little more punchier, a little more out front of the guitar? I love that.
I'm just sitting in my chair when a buzz comes on the air. Why don't you try it? You feel alright. It's a great new brand of smokes. Kill your head and clears your throat. Keeps you young and so in touch. Said advertising, you're lying. You're never gonna give me what I want.
Thank you, Chaotic War. I just read that.
Brainwashing. You're never gonna give me what I need. What I kill, Hey man, where's the professor? We need it now. Gonna take it back to
And there's this great traditional rhythm pattern the drummer's using.
punch him up. Alright, yeah, yeah.
The ending of this, it was funny. At the very ending, it didn't sound it sounded like it was a once through recording. One of the things that leads me to that is also that the very ending, just where it was dun dun dun, the bass player went dun, and it seemed like he was going to lean into the finish, but didn't quite jump on it and decided just to let the note ring out. Of course, it's always a possibility. But as I mentioned before, one of the things that I keyed into was that drum pattern. It's an old drum pattern from the 70s, even from the 60s, more of the hippie era, which is very, very heavily used pattern and a lot of super upbeat at the time, pop modern, music during that 60s, 70s, that growth period. But I also, the unique blend with the horn section and the guitars was great. And I love the guy's voice. The whole thing, this was a full-on winner through and through. And thank you, Chaotic. I read that little paragraph you prepped for me, so that helps me color in a little bit. Folks, if you ever do have a song here, it's you and I listening to it. It's your dono, you and I are listening to it. But if you ever have anything you want to tell me about the band or your experience, please fire it away here on the stream here and on the chat, so I can read it, and maybe it enlightens other people as well. And so I don't know if... All right, now, next up, I have 2 more. So here's what's going on, guys. I have 3 more. Here's what's going on. So the subscription form is starting to pop up now. So, suggestions form. I have 3 more that I'm going to do that from yesterday. Then I'm going to take a quick break, and then we're going to go into Wheel of Cheese, okay? So that's what's going on right now. I have... minus the Old Bear, Jerdman, and Kairu are the last 3 to catch up from yesterday's session. I'll take a small break, and then we'll do about an hour and a half of Wheel of Cheese, okay? So next up is from minus the Old Bear, minus the Owl Bear, the Old Bear. The name of the band is Sakanation. It's a pop track. So let's do that. And the name of the song is Wasarirorina. I'm not even going to try. I hope you don't mind. Mine is the Old Bear. I'm not going to try. I'll probably shred apart the title of the track. All right, guys, let's do this. All right. Whoops. What the hell just happened here? I don't want that. Oh, okay, there we go. Well, hi there. Oh my God, so old school sounding. Kind of reminds me already a little start of like a Earth, Wind and Fire vibe.
忘れられないの春風で揺れる花手を振る君に見えた新しい街の
Put a doubling flange on his voice. Ooh, that bass, let's go! Really nice there with the melody and those changes. Did he just say fuck no? I love how the keyboard stabs are kind of reminiscent of the horns from Earth, Wind and Fire too. Cute video. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Beautiful bass work. Not too over the top. That was excellent. It's got an odd little lo-fi kind of vibe to the mix. Oh, he's bummed. Oh. sequence in the back too, a very light one. That's in my head. I'm sorry, I'm that way. Nice pad, nice little analog vibe. Oh, that bass! Oh my gosh. Let's hear it for the fade. She's like, oh, no, I know he's older than me. Don't look at me that way, Mom. Anyhow, I don't know. I just went that way because of the video. Excuse me. Full Earth, Wind, and Fire vibes, just kind of like the era of when my uncle used to write with them back in the the fantasy we talked about already. Back in that era. Wayne Henderson, definite kind of production. I don't know where they pulled their cues from in order to produce, or how they produce this. One thing that I did notice is, which is really fun, is the intimate engineering of the drums on this. And I know that I didn't say anything about the drums or anything through the whole track, but for the most part, with my old little engineering ears, I really enjoyed how tight and intimate, and there was like a little slight compression. What I would call kit compression, and but there wasn't anything over the top with it. I think without a doubt the glow of it was obviously the melody, but that bass player was absolutely mental. How was that bass player? She was just over. And the thing is even when she had her moment, she didn't get way out there. She stayed within the context of the vibe. Even though she stepped out and went, she didn't get, as far out there as we know, is possible. So that's the magic, to me. Bass solos have a really unique, tragic line sometimes, I call it, of like crossing before you get to be just a little, oh shit, they went over, we're gone, we've lost them. When you kind of feel that they're doing the solo more for them than for what's in the track. I mean, truth be told, any instrument really could be doing that. But I think the bass has a little bit more of scrutiny on it because of the tone and what disappears when you're doing a bass solo. So if you're doing the bass solo, sometimes what disappears is the low end of the bass that's keeping the bottom cooking. And unless you have a keyboardist that might pick up that low end, there's this very unique void that's created when bass players start to do solo work and stuff. And I think one of my other most favorite bass solos was that, I want to say her name is Taj Wingfield? Curly-haired Australian bass player that played with Jeff Beck. There's this one video out there where she does a solo that is so, you just got to go, oh my God. That solo couldn't have been any better. Tal. Oh, that solo is just, and I've seen her do the solo a couple times with Jeff Beck on that song, and that solo in the stadium was hands down one of the most unbelievable solos I had ever heard. From a bass player, it was just so beautiful. It was just so insane. Stujo, thank you so much for this, for the prime. All right, guys, let's continue on. I got two more, and then I'm gonna take a break. Then we're gonna come back with Wheel of Cheese. Next one is by Jerdman. Jerdman, are you here? This is a band. This one is Nigel Stanford. It's electronic music. And the name of this is called Cymatics. So we're bringing this to you. Thank you, Jerdman. Are you here? Where's Jerdman? There he is. Hi, Jerdman. How you doing? Good to see you here, and thank you very much. That was a very nice message you left me. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for the cup of coffee. You and I are listening to this track with our chat. Chat friends and our lurkers in the background. Let's do this.
The film you're about to see has no characters. If you spare a little of your imagination, it is a film to describe to you the effect of cymatic frequencies on matter.
I am so down for this stuff, you have no idea. That's our life story. We vibe by cymatics. This is badass. Whoa, I've never seen that. Damn, I'm glad I'm not on a heroic dose. Nice. What a great pattern. It's like alters the stream of consciousness kind of vibe.
Everything owes its existence solely
And that was a beautiful pad in the background,
to
man.
sound.
That must have been like 500 frames a second for that shot. Jeez. Come on. 2, 3. Is that all one guy? Oh, shit, what a trip. So, Jerdman, Nigel Stanford, is it a one artist performance I saw? Because I saw other people doing things in the video, but I was really transfixed on the layers and everything that were in there. It had a real super visual. This was like the third track out of the 9 that we just listened to that had repetitive patterns with unique arrangements in there. But this one really set itself like as if this was a piece of music that you would use as if you were doing a recap of the last 100 years of the industrial age into technology, you know, into a fast edit kind of, you know, Ken Burns style or fast edit kind of vibe. It had those elements to it. Of course, I was also tripping out over the video and stuff like that. The end of the video, though, kind of maybe took a little bit of the, you know, looking behind the magician that never shows you its tricks. I thought, oh, that's a unique thing that they kind of unveiled that bit. But I think the ode or the theme of the track to this kind of what was it called? Sematics. It's, you know, the science versus the music, which I so believe in. I ain't weird that way, but that's why that's why I always, like my other channel, The Sounds of Tranquility, is I use certain vibes and tones in there, because for me, it puts me asleep or chills me out, and I'm a firm believer in that. Maybe not to the scientific definitive like this, but it definitely was pulling some kind of stream of conscious, like, you know, through it and everything. So that was great, Jordan. Thank you so much for that. I'm glad that I got a chance to listen. And it looks like it's done pretty well. 49 million views. So, Mr. Nigel John Stanford, that was a tremendous piece of work. Damn, it was. Okay, I have one more, and then it's break time. And then we're going to go into the Wheel of Cheese, where I see some people are sneaking in. People are breaking into the Wheel of Cheese. I think we have the list. Do we have the list? There it is. At the very top, folks, if you haven't seen it, pinned to the top of the chat is the request to drop in for the Wheel of Cheese. Which is exactly what I'm going to come back and do after my little break after this last song by Kairu. I'm going to take about 5 minutes, and then we're doing Wheel of Cheese. Kairu, this is for you, my friend. And this is a video game. Get some video game action going here. Super Mario World. Where's my Farmer John's? If I would have known I was doing Super Mario. I think maybe I should do one Super Mario cosplay stream, right? Where I went through all Super Mario music with my hat and stuff. I think that'd be funny. I think that'd be Are you not entertained? Da 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 da. Dun 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 Was I close? Did I kind of get that? I kind of felt like I was kind of close. Nintendo will come a knockin'. Okay, Kairu, this is Super Mario, and the track that you want me to listen to is The Castle, or Castle. So Kairu, always here. One of the long-term usual suspects here in the stream, here on the channel. Always got a lot to say, fun stuff in the chat. Always thought-worthy. This is for you, my friend. Here we go. And he's an eternal. Like speaking my language. Oh, it's a cover. It's a dinosaur? I thought it was a turtle. Yeah, that's an old school organ. That bowing technique is really cool. So I've never played this game, guys. How close is he to the original? Very well done. Very faithful. One off. This guy's great. Nice gliss. That bowing pattern through it all, that's some stamina going on there, you know if you know. Kind of slightly Baroque style harmonies on this too. Very, very well done. Wow. Kairu, thank you so much for that, man. I think one of my favorite things to do when I'm on the channel is when people do request those kind of tracks where it's an individual who does a cover to it in their own way. And then, you know, like I asked earlier, you know, how close are they to the original of the piece? But then they bring in their own unique style. I'm only going to assume, since I don't know Super Mario World, that this is post 16K. When was Super Mario World released? This track, this particular Kairu, this particular track. How long ago was that? So this is 16-bit days. Okay, so then guarantee that there wasn't any of those nice dynamics that he brought in with the strings, right? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I got to look up the original, check that out. Is it a super short track? Okay, let me look at it really quick. Just so I can kind of A-B this just for a second. I hope you guys don't mind. Only because maybe it's this one here is the original theme. Let's see if this is it. Stand by. Yeah, I mean... But even the dynamics of the volume coming up on the... I mean, even the composer here, at least... Yeah, well, I'm going to stop now just in case Nintendo... I hear Nintendo is very notorious for giving me the people's elbow, and I've heard some people have actually gotten strikes because of Nintendo, so I'll leave that there. But to hear this little bit here, the fact of the matter is the guy beforehand, I forgot, what was his name? Oh, I erased the thing. That did the cover, you know, brought in and kept even to the integrity of the strings kind of. Now, of course, he was able to leverage today's modern technology and some of his own harmonies in counter arrangement work that he did there. But I thought it was fantastic. I thought it kicked ass. I thought it was so cool. But I love that. I love watching these like solo artists that play 45 different instruments. Makes me feel like a clown. But, you know, when I see such talent out there to do stuff like that. All right, guys, listen, we're going to go on a break. Or I'm going to go on a break for just a few minutes. And it looks like our Wheel of Cheese list is starting to fill up, guys. So the link is right up there to request a song, The Wheel of Cheese. And I'm going to come back and we're going to hit a bunch of Wheel of Cheese. So I'm going to be, what time is it right now? It's 5, 6. I'm thinking maybe about 6:30 I'm going to dip out. I've got a little tinge of a headache right now, so. But I'm thinking I'm going to dip out at about 6:30, which is, what, another hour or so? So, I don't know. And also, please do me a favor, guys. If you're doing Wheel of Cheese, Please don't put in like a 12-minute song or a 15-minute song or something like that, you know, because I want to get to as many as possible. And if you did and you went, oh shit, I put in a 10-minute song or a 15-minute song, you can go back in and make the adjustments or ask the mod if you want to change your request. So it's not, because I want to try to fit it in as many. I'm that guy. I want as many people in the sandbox to come in and play. So let me grab a piece of music here while I go on break. My wonderful mods will take over with any questions that you may have. And I'm going to go do breakage and noyage. Be right back, guys. Whoops. I so suck. Here we